Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Leeds Apprenticeship Recruitment Fair. My name's Simon Hewitson. I work for Leeds City Council. I'm pleased to welcome this afternoon Kerys Glynn, who is an apprentice with Jet2. And Kerys is just going to talk a little bit about a day in the life of an apprenticeship.
Yeah. Hi guys, so thanks for coming in. So I'm just going to kind of run you through a little bit about what I do, how I found my apprenticeship, a little bit about what we offer at Jet2 more generally, and then if anyone has any questions, either ask them now or I am here all day just at Jet2 stand as well, so feel free to come ask. So as I've been introduced, I'm called Kerys. I'm currently doing a Level 3 Business Associate Apprenticeship at jet2.com and Jet2 Holidays. So I work within the HR department. But more kind of nichely within the learning and development team. So I work with students across Leeds. I kind of go into colleges, different schools. I manage like work experience programs and things like that. So I do a few different things, and that kind of makes up my apprenticeship. So mine's been 15 months long. So it's a level 3, the equivalent to 2 A-levels. So I did this instead of going to sixth form. So I started Jet2 when I was 17. I'm 18 now, and I've been on the programme for about 15 months, and I finish in 2 weeks. So it's been quite a short one, but really good experience. So like I say, I'm currently studying the level 3. Which is the equivalent to 2 A-levels. And the way that Jet2 structures pretty much all of our apprenticeships is that you will work pretty much full time. So you'll be in the office 5 days, well, in the office 2 days, work from home 3. And then we have external providers who do your kind of, depending on what area you go into, they'll kind of deliver your modules or your classes virtually, maybe once a month, a couple of times a month, and then you'll work towards that kind of in the background. I chose the apprenticeship route and particularly chose Jet2 because, I knew I didn't really want to go to university, but I wasn't really lucky enough to get kind of shown apprenticeship routes through school, and if it was very much like either bricklaying or hair and beauty. It was never really what's in between. So something I found really interesting coming into Jet2 was you could do an apprenticeship in HR, you can go into legal, you can go into IT, marketing, you can go work in OCC, which is the Operations Control Centre up at the airport, working with like air traffic control. You can literally do an apprenticeship in everything. And that's something that I obviously didn't know, and I didn't really have the option to kind of understand that before I went in to look into apprenticeships, which is why it's something that I'm really happy to kind of speak to people, especially people my own age about, because I know that when I were in the position, I had no clue what I wanted to do, and had I not found Jet2, I would probably still be at sixth form doing something that I wasn't interested in. So it's a really good route. Jet2 in general, so we take on about 200 apprentices per year, and that's across all of our departments. The only thing we don't offer apprenticeships in is cabin crew, and that's just because the training programme is only 12 weeks and apprenticeships have to last a year, so there's just no point really. But we offer them for pilots, we offer them for engineers, we offer them for, like I say, everything in IT. If you want to be kind of looking at like digital marketing, things like that. If you're interested in kind of social media, working with advertising, kind of deciding what brands we should be working with, there's literally something for everyone, which is why it's a really good route in. People don't often think of aviation or Jet2. I'm sure you're all familiar. If you don't know who we are, I'm sure you've heard the advert and you might be familiar with what we do. We are obviously an airline, and people just think captains, they think cabin crew, but you don't actually think there's a whole team behind the scenes that are doing what we do. And for apprenticeships, like I say, we try cover all of our bases with that and make sure that we have got an apprenticeship for everyone. We do them from level 3, so you can join us from 16. So you can join us from leaving school, which is what I did, all the way up to getting a level 7, which is a master's degree. So you can literally work your way up from leaving school all the way up to going to uni without actually having to pay for uni, and getting paid while you're doing it as well, which is obviously a really good perk. Something, a personal kind of favourite of me of doing my apprenticeship is that I would not have learned how to kind of handle money properly and do finances, which is something that coming into that as at 17 and getting paid full time, it's obviously something that you do just naturally have to learn. So that's a really good kind of part of it as well. Jet2 in general do support you so much with that. So once you start doing your pension, they'll give you like a little pension session, teach you what it actually is and what it means. We get to do things like, so even for myself who works like up in the head office, which is just near Crown Point. We get to go out and do, I got to do a jump seat, so I got to go to Paris and back and sit in the cockpit the whole time. You get to kind of go and do ground upstairs and sit in a pushback. So even if you are working in the head office, you're not kind of alienated from the operation either. So even if you are just coming to fix the computers that everyone uses in the office, you're still going to get to go and experience what the flight deck do and what engineers do. So in that sense, the business is really good at giving everyone kind of an equal overview, even if you're going to specialise in something quite far from kind of the operation. But yeah, like I say, it's a really, really good opportunity. The day-to-day does differ from kind of what you do. From my side of it, so I work, like I say, I work within the emerging talent team. So a lot of my days look like going to local schools, delivering kind of careers talks, attending events like the one that you're all at today. So a lot of it is kind of like that. So day-to-day speaking to different students, but I also manage our work experience programme, so a lot of my day-to-day is kind of bringing students in, showing them around the office, sending them off for a day with the team that they're most interested in, and then kind of coming back and being like, how did you find it? I also manage part of our pilot apprentice scheme, which is really, really interesting. You get a lot of, I get a lot of kind of insight to the pilot apprentice side of stuff, which is something that was very new to me. I had absolutely no knowledge on kind of pilot or flying before I joined Jet2. But yeah, it's a really, really good opportunity. Something that's really good as well is the kind of work from home scheme that we've got. So you're working from home 3 days a week, which is really good because especially for most of you, if you're looking at joining as an apprentice from kind of like 17, 18, it is quite, how do I word it? It can be quite overwhelming to go into an office full of like 30, 40-year-olds when you're 17 and you don't really have anything to relate to people about. But Jet2, again, is so good at making you feel really comfortable in that situation. And we have, like I've said, hundreds of apprentices. We do socials, we've got like different group chats. There's plenty of people similar age, so you're never going to be in a situation where you feel like, oh, this isn't really the place for me. It's a really, really good opportunity. And one thing I would just say is, like, obviously, if obviously you're all here, so you're getting a good knowledge today of the different kind of routes that are available. But really do research, because I had absolutely no clue, and I was probably the definition of putting all your eggs in one basket when it came to apprenticeships. I applied for this one and that's it. And if I hadn't got this, like I said, I probably would have still been at sixth form because I just had my heart set on it. But research, find out what you want to do, and also don't think just because it's an apprenticeship it's not going to be like school, because in the sense that you're going to be there 5 days a week, and whilst you are getting paid and it's great, if you don't like it, it's going to feel the same as going to school, because you are working full time. So you've got to really do something you can get interested in, that you want to learn about whilst actually doing that and applying what you learn. But yes, it's an absolute, honestly, I can't fault it. I can't fault the business. I can't fault the scheme and kind of the provider that's helped me through mine. You get assigned a mentor when you join Jet2 as well. So there's going to be someone who's done that apprenticeship before to kind of help you through it and coach you through it, and make sure that you feel comfortable every step. But yeah, that is pretty much kind of my experience with it. I've really enjoyed it. If anyone has any questions, feel free to either ask now or come and find myself and kind of some of the other. We've got plenty of apprentices here today. We've got people in IT, finance, and we've got a pilot apprentice coming along later on. So there's plenty of us around. But does anyone have any questions about anything that I've kind of spoken about so far? Anything? No? Cool. Well, that's pretty much it from me, really, in terms of what I do. Like I say, we are here all day, so please do come find me if you have any more questions. And we've got plenty of kind of leaflets and stuff and resources available to hand out if you are particularly interested in any apprenticeships that we've got. But yeah, I hope it's been helpful to kind of hear a little bit about my experience as an apprentice. But yeah, do feel free to come catch us either if you want to come grab me now. I'll kind of hang around for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be downstairs all day. So yeah, I hope it's been helpful, and obviously enjoy the rest of the kind of sessions this afternoon. But yeah, thanks guys.